morning everyone, welcome to our celebration gathering, and we're going to look at some certificates from Key Stage 2. So the first certificate is for somebody in ACER Learning Zone, and this one's for George. Dear George, you've been chosen for celebration gathering today because of your creativity as an author, which was particularly shown during the poetry workshop where you really shone. What an amazing author you are. Well done, George. Congratulations from Miss Harrington and Mrs. Monmouthsell. This certificate's for Iman. You've been chosen for celebration gathering today because of the commitment you've shown to your distance learning. You always embrace every opportunity, and it's been lovely to see your learning in the ACER inbox each day. Congratulations from Miss Harrington and Mrs. Monmouthsell. And this certificate is also for somebody in ACER Learning Zone, and this is for Ruby. You've been chosen for celebration gathering because of the resilience and imagination you've shown this year. We were amazed with your fundraising achievements during lockdown, and you've definitely inspired others with your creative thinking and determination. Congratulations, Ruby, from Mr. Bucott, Mrs. Monmouthsell and everyone at Walscourt Farm Academy. And in the same class, this one is for Lamia. Lamia, you've been chosen for celebration gathering because of the independence you've demonstrated when exploring books at home. Your vivid imagination and creative use of vocabulary has wowed us all, along with your colossal book tower, and we can't wait to enjoy more stories together in school. Congratulations from Mr. Bucott, Mrs. Monmouthsell and everyone at Walscourt Farm Academy. So let's give the children in ACER Learning Zone a clap. And then we're going to go to Maple Learning Zone, and the first certificate is for Iski. Iski, you've been chosen for celebration gathering today because you've shown such independence and resilience throughout all of your distance learning. When being a scientist, you created informative, well thought out and inventive ways of demonstrating all that you'd learnt. Well done, from Miss Hardy and Miss Adams. And this certificate's for Madeline. You've been chosen for celebration gathering today because of the independence and enthusiasm for learning you've continued to demonstrate throughout the distance learning, whilst also creating some of your own learning opportunities. Congratulations from Miss Hardy and Miss Adams. This certificate's for Oliver. You've been chosen for celebration gathering today because recently you've become so confident in your author's voice. You're thinking so carefully about all that you write, including using a thesaurus to find alternative words to use. I hope you are as proud of your learning as we are. And that's congratulations from Miss Hardy and Miss Adams. Also in Maple Learning Zone, this certificate is for Adam. You've been chosen for celebration gathering today because of how resilient you've been. You've maintained practicing your spellings in a variety of creative ways, as well as continuing to develop confidence when being a mathematician. Well done. And that's from Miss Hardy and Miss Adams. Now this certificate is for Poppy. Poppy, you've been chosen for celebration gathering because you are a very dedicated and committed learner. You show a great understanding of your rights and responsibilities and how all of this helps you towards being the independent learner you want to be. And you've also carried this on during your distance learning journey and still continuing with extra outside learning. This shows a great maturity. Well done, Poppy, from Miss Hines and Miss Adams. This certificate is for Kyle. Kyle, you've been chosen for celebration gathering because before school closure, you were showing a growing resilience in your learning, especially when finding some learning challenging. Rather than giving up, you were independently accessing resources available to you and using the watering hole and marking stations. I'm pleased to say that you maintained this mindset during your distance learning journey. Well done, Karla, and that's from Miss Hines and Miss Adams. So those are the certificates for children in Maple Learning Zone. Now we're going to go to Hazel Learning Zone, and the first certificate is for Tyee. Tyee, you've been chosen for celebration gathering today because you've shown superb enthusiasm and politeness throughout your time in the Year 5 bubble. It's been a pleasure having you in school throughout these unusual times, and your positivity has helped to boost spirits across our bubble. Keep on shining. And that's congratulations from Mr. Miller, Mrs. Braddock, Mr. Hargreaves and Mrs. Wigan. Also, for somebody in Hazel Learning Zone, this is for Corey. Corey, you've been chosen for celebration gathering because you've demonstrated super curiosity, resilience and collaborative learning skills whilst learning in our Year 5 bubble. Your ideas and views are always fabulous to hear and greatly add to the richness of group discussions. And that's from Mr. Miller, Mrs. Braddock, Mr. Hargreaves and Mrs. Wigan. Also for somebody in Hazel Learning Zone, this is for Isabel, Isabel C. You've been chosen for Celebration Gathering today because you've really impressed us by your resilience over the last few weeks. You've come into school every day full of enthusiasm and put your full effort into all of your learning. We've also really enjoyed you sharing stories with the class about famous women who've inspired you. Well done, Isabel. Congratulations from Mr. Miller, Mrs. Braddock, Mr. Hargreaves and Mrs. Wigan. And that's all the children in Hazel Learning Zone. Now we're going to go to Elm Learning Zone. And the first one is for Liam. Dear Liam, you've been chosen for Celebration Gathering today because you've shown wonderful collaboration since returning to school. You're learning brilliantly with a range of different children and showing your kindness to others during learning breaks. Well done. From Mr. Dunn, Miss Carslake and Mrs. Berry. And then this certificate is for Connor. Connor, you've been chosen for Celebration Gathering today because we've been really impressed with your progress in your reading. You're pushing yourself to read more challenging texts and complete harder reading tasks. We're very proud of your efforts. Keep it up. Congratulations from Miss Carslake, Mr. Dunn and Mrs. Berry. So shall we give all of those children a round of applause? And for children who are watching from home, I wanted to tell you that Noodle came back to school yesterday for the first time since the school closed. And he is getting back in practice of what it means to be a school dog. So he'll be here ready for you when you come back in September. Can't wait to see you then. Bye.